Alright guys, I am going to just say this real quickly. Do not bother looking at your screen while watching this video, because all you're going to see is the same thing over again. It's practically a waste of your own time if you're looking at your screen while watching this. It's basically just me and
Luki
ranting on about shit. And today's topic is practically Pokemon, because it's so freaking stupid, and I'll let Luki take it away.
Basically, from my opinion, Pokemon started off good with the basic anime and the basic games up to about Emerald. After then, it all went downhill because the corporations just went, oh hey, it's a great game, let's just make it even better by adding more Pokemon which don't even resemble any of the old Pokemon which actually look cool. We'll make one of a pig and one of a vine and one of God knows what fucking else, and they all look like a pile of crap to me. To be honest, I still like the gameplay of the more modern games, but I so fucking wish that they would just stop taking the Ash character and going, yay, I've just started my Pokemon journey for the 15th time, and all of these Pokemon that are legendary that I could have caught, I've decided I'm going to help them. I'm going to be a twat. I'm not going to capture them, and I'm going to go and take on the Pokemon League for the God knows however many time, and then suddenly, in what was it? No, not Johto. That was the first one. Whatever it was before this Unova. I think it was Sinnoh or some crap. Suddenly, this guy comes in with a Darkrai, which is like the ultimate darkness Pokemon, and a bloody Latias. I mean, come the fuck on. He met a Latias. He's met a Darkrai. He's met every legendary Pokemon up to this point. And yet, he never caught one, and this guy goes into the tournament with these, and the only decent battle that they actually had in the tournament was when he faced Ash. Pause here. What the fuck were they doing? Ugh. Anyway, the anime has just gone from bad to worse, because they've taken Ash and they thought, well, now that the creator of Pokemon's dead, we can just basically rape the shit out of it by taking away Brock, taking away every other character, and dropping them all in with a new character that's high on testosterone and thinks everything is cool and should be shouted at, whatever the hell. And then they've got that other character that's basically a wild child, and basically, sorry for saying it twice, but she's just Misty all over again. I mean, Misty didn't like bug types, and she doesn't like ice types, and they both have a designated one, and they're both gonna become gym leaders at some point. They've just taken the original Pokemon, given it a new animation, given it new starter Pokemon, leveled them up the same way, and what do we get? To be honest, they've just taken what was good back then, in whatever year it was. I know it started back when I was born, but hey, give me some credit, I'm a Pokemon fan. And they just remake it and screw it over as much as they bloody can, thinking, we'll make a pig and we'll make a dog that looks like it's got drugs, and we'll make something called a Pawniard, which basically is a little thing with little blades and everything and looks kind of evil and menacing. About half the Pokemon in the game look evil and menacing. And then, when they actually create the games, it's all the frickin' same. In the anime, he has these tiny little Pokemon that are so powerful and can take on things at least 5 times their size. And when you try to do that, your Pokemon get KO'd in about 1 hit, and then they get fucked over by something else. And every time you try to do that with a Pokemon, it's just, we're going to kill it, we're going to kill it, we're going to spam the same move over and over again, and it's not realistic like in the anime, where we actually think of things tactically. No, we're a computer program, so we think like shit! John, what do you think of Pokemon?
A piece of paper, because I always say think of that. I've never liked Pokemon. Why should I give one rat's ass about it? And I'm still saying stop looking at the screen.
Still, we had Iris, Misty, and all the other characters that I can't be bothered to name right now, and yet they always stuck with Ash and Pikachu. For God's sake, drop the fucking characters. If you want to start it again, start it again. Get a new main character. Get 2 new sidekicks. And don't repeat the same fucking storyline again.
I mean, for the love of Jesus. I mean, I swear, inside my ashes, what's left of his mind is these following words. Fuck sake, deja vu. Stop this endless torture of my own sanity. Why can't I just be replaced?
And then there was all that crap with the first Pokemon movie. I mean, yeah, you think it's the first Pokemon movie, it's going to be great. There's a clone that's ultimately powerful, doesn't look anything like the original, and decides he's going to turn every single person in the world into a clone and kill all of the human race. Pretty much like any apocalyptic movie.
Yeah, seems like...
Somehow the main character ends up dying for about 5 seconds before all the Pokemon, even the clones, weep their sorry little eyes out. Suddenly all their tears have magical powers and he comes back alive again. For God's sake! I mean, it is magical,
YOLO.
It is everything, but...
YOLO!
Give me some credit, I'm not a little twat. I actually know that tears don't have magical powers, that you can't be turned to stone, and the fact that Pokemon don't exist, even though sometimes I do wish it so that I could set my friends on fire sometimes.
You wouldn't set me on fire because it would seem slightly ironic knowing me. I mean, for the love of Jesus, me...
No, you're right, I just tie you up in vines.
You're a fucking cunt. Yeah, I'll set the vines on fire with my face.
And some of my favourite Pokemon, they've taken them, but they rarely use them. I mean, come to think about it, you've got Dragonite from the original, then they created the 2 pre-evolutions which look pretty cool. And up to that point you had all of these really cool looking Pokemon, and now all they've really done is just take the silhouette of every single Pokemon they've ever made and just redone them. So you had Growlithe, which was like this little fire type dog loyal thing, and then they made whatever that little fucking thing was, and then Herdier and Scout and all that, and they basically just look like Growlithe and Arcanine and a little baby shit form of it. And you get it at the beginning and they just say, yeah, it's going to be a really good Pokemon if you level it up because it's right at the very start. Everyone knows you never catch one of the fucking starter Pokemon because you get all of them. You get like the little bird, then you get another one which is always a normal type, and then you get that last one which is like a dark type or whatever it is that's kind of actually maybe good in the future, but up until about halfway through the game, afterwards it just becomes shit most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, this...
Then you have to capture about 27 other Pokemon just to be able to go through every single gym and actually win all the gym badges. Yeah. And then there's actually no point because all you really do is go to the Pokemon League, beat the crap out of 5 people, then once you've done that...
Because clearly a, like, what, 12-year-old or something can do that?
13.
13. Yeah, like, oh yeah, 13-year-old kid, like, oh yeah, I love Pokemon. Oh look, Pokeball on the ground. Pikachu in demonic voice form. Pick it up now, motherfucker. I'm not, and he's like, voice in my head. Pick up. Oh yeah, I have Pikachu. I wonder. Oh yeah, take it to the bloody Elite Four, wherever the buggers are called. Because, you know, a 13-year-old kid with a Pikachu with a demonic voice can actually do that. Like, how, bro? We're gods. We're like adults that have done this for like years and all that shit. And you're just like this kid who's like, oh yeah, I've only done this for a day. Yeah.
And the irony of how Pikachu just hates him is just waiting for him to die through the first part of the series, and then afterwards just thinks, he's such a cool guy, I'm totally friends with him, even though I tried to electrocute the shit out of him and turn him into a smouldering pile of ash.
I thought he did that. Smouldering pile of ash.
And then there's, when you go to create your first starter Pokemon, you always get the fire type, the grass type, and the water type. And each one is about as shit as the next. Because when you go to pick a fire type, oh, your rival picks a water type. When you go to pick a grass type, because you went to do the storyline, it's your first time doing it, and you think he's going to pick the water type again. No, he picks the fire type. Like, and the same is if you pick the water type, he picks the fucking grass type.
What we're kind of saying is, improve it. Make it a random generator. Don't, like, oh yeah, fire type, grass type. If you pick a fire type, you pick a grass, they get a fire, or whatever. Randomly generate it.
And maybe actually get some other type Pokemon in there as well.
What?
Because you always hear in TV series about how in each different town you have different starters. Yeah, every town you start in, you end up with a fire type, grass type, or water type.
I mean, I know it takes time for this shit, but please, for the love of what's left of my brain cells of hearing Luki ramble on, please, random generated picks. I don't want, because...
I mean, the mystery dungeons were actually pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, the graphics not so good, but you actually got a randomly generated Pokemon by asking questions.
Based around your personality.
Yeah,
I mean,
but most of the questions they actually ask are just a load of bullshit, because each time you come out as a different Pokemon, and one time they said I was a girl. And about half the time they say that my colour was pink. The colour of my aura was pink. And at one time it said it was orange, and another time it said it was red. And yes, I've restarted the game like 20 times, just because I just thought, well, let's see how it changes depending on it, and see if it actually does the same thing each time. Basically about 15 times it was pink, 2 times it was orange, and the rest of the time it was red. And every time I was pink, I turned out as a freaking Chikorita or a Squirtle.
But I thought you were a girl that loved pink.
Shut the fuck up.
Anyway, basically, I mean, the Mystery Dungeon, in my opinion, the best Pokemons.
And they brought out another one now, haven't they? That Mystery Dungeon, whatever it's called, for the 3DS. And looking at how the graphics are
wait,
on
there's
that,
another Mystery Dungeon?
Yeah. Adverts are on TV. And it just looks kind of cool, but the way they set it up is going to make every little kid in the world just think, oh no, it's going to turn me into an old man and I'm going to be as decrepit and smelly as my granddad.
Yeah, that's what they say before they have an orgasm. We're going to go to hell for this, I know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
But still, it's entertaining us.
I mean... What are those new starter Pokemon? John, search for the new starter Pokemon, for God's sake. I can't remember their names, but one's like a little fox thing, and the other two I can't even bear to talk about.
Which ones are we on about here?
You just type it in and it'll come up, new starter Pokemon.
Ah, fuck. Okay, you have the right to look on your screen for now.
See, you've got these things. What the fuck are they? A frog, a fox, and whatever that thing is. And in the last one, they had some sort of vine serpent, a pig, and a little otter.
I gotta say, I do love that one right there.
I think there was only 2 decent ones, which are that one, and that one just looks like a fat guy with tusks.
Yeah, like you.
I'm not fat, I'm skinny.
Yeah, whatever. Get joking, dude. Yeah.
And then you've just got all of these other ones. I mean, come on. Basically after, what was it? Basically after they created the Sinnoh, well, just before Sinnoh, everything was great. They could have just left it at that and continued with different starters. And then they brought in the monkey, the penguin, and the whatever that hell that is.
The turtles, the monkey, and
yeah, some sort of
penguin.
turtle thing. But
I gotta
penguin, the Piplup, my brother loves penguins, so I just thought, okay, that's a bit of an improvement upon Daily Bird that just looks like a red and whatever bird thing that can fly, but looks a bit like a penguin, and somehow has a bag of presents, which half of them explode.
I gotta say, out of these 3, I gotta love the turtles more, because when I first got like diamonds, my brother got pearl. Basically he got my first pick was what was his name?
Turtwig, I think.
Turtwig, yeah. I was like, Turtwig, and it was awesome. And then I wanted like, my brother's got the game, so I was like, hey dude, can you hold on to this Turtwig? What I definitely love. And he was like, oh yeah, sure, bro, anything for you. And I know this is making me sound even very awesome, but just wait until I get further in. And then I re-pick for the penguin, which basically he has my Turtwig, and I was like, okay, can I have my Turtwig back? And he was like, no, this is my Turtwig. I was like, excuse me. I was like, seriously, and he evolved it, and when I gave it to him, it evolved up into its second form, which is what again? Grottle, which I was like, you stole my Grottle, you are a cunt. I was religious at the time, so in my mind I wasn't swearing, but I was a bit annoyed.
My first actual Pokemon game was Pokemon Emerald,
My-
and I actually quite enjoyed that. That was basic plot and everything, but they just kept repeating it over and over again.
Yeah.
And the whole thing where you only get one Master Ball, I think is kind of crap because you've got about 20 legendaries in the game now that all
Yeah.
try and get that you all want to try and get, and in each one you can only get one. So then you get one, and then you have to go through all the storyline again just to get another one, and then you have to go through all the storyline again because no other Pokeball except a Master Ball will actually catch a legendary Pokemon.
Which really sparks one really, really big thing that a lot of people want to get their hands on. Actually replay. Yeah, but basically like, okay, this is annoying me. So they basically, what everyone did was, basically they got the Action Replay and they plunked that into their DS or whatever they had, and then they plunked the game into that, so they could like spawn in a shit ton of shits. I mean, when I did that, all I did was spawn in the Master Balls. That's it. I spawned in exactly 20, then never used it again. Then when I completed it, I was like, I completed the game. Might as well go a bit nuts with the power of the Action Replay. So basically, then I had everything. And if I wanted to, I literally could have, if I wanted to, spawned in a grotto and leveled it up because I wanted my grotto back, and I was like, grotto, but I didn't because I got bored at that point.
What was your first starter again? It was Turtwig, was it?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, mine was a Torchic, and the first Pokemon that they ever showed was a Torchic, like with May, and you just think, yes, it's a tiny little chick, and all I thought was, hey, it's a fire type, it might turn out cool. It did turn out cool. It turned into a giant bird thing with legs and fighting powers that could actually beat the crap out of most things to me.
Yeah, fighting types have a tendency to be OP, but really just like major pussies. Like you.
Shut up. But I did go into a phase where I just liked steel type Pokemon, and I just got a load of metal coats just by actually buying them off this guy back in like one of my older games. And I don't know where I bought them from, I just had tons of them, and I got Steelix and everything else, and then my brother restarts my game.
And thus began a really big rivalry between, well, which was kind of already there because of pro rivalry. Rivalry of the Bros. Now, I think that's our 15-minute mark.
Yep.
So we will continue this rant next time we get the opportunity. So for now, this rant has came to an end. Bye.